Hi everyone and welcome to my cosplay makeup tutorial, very first edition. Today, as you see, we are doing Lulu from Final Fantasy X, and we'll be doing her makeup. You can look online for reference photos. The one that I'll be using is this one. The one that I'll be using is this one. Alright. So there's nothing on my face except the wig, which isn't really on my face. So as you can see, the skin is not perfect. So first thing we'll be doing is using this awesome Revlon Photo Ready Focus Please makeup in vanilla, which is a little lighter than my natural hair it's a little lighter than my natural skin color, but this is used mainly to cover up unsightly blemishes. All throughout the face. And I really am not a professional by any means. Basically what I'm trying to say is I have no idea what I'm doing. This is how I've always done my makeup, and so I might be being completely retarded about everything. The results have worked out so far, so there's that. But don't start yelling at me, professional makeup artists, for doing things wrong, because I'm not a professional. That's what YouTube has turned into. Everybody's saying, don't yell at me, because there will be somebody making a video yelling at you, no matter what you do. Alright, since this is photo ready makeup, I will add it a little bit under my eyes to get the whole eye situation looking ready for makeup. Yeah. And that's how girls get rid of all their features. Put on some of this makeup, and instantly all features disappear. It's just eyelids, an eye, and some bumps for a nose, and that's it. Now that we've got rid of most of the features, we're going to draw them back on. So this is, since it's a lighter color, I'm doing some fake contouring here. I don't really ever do contouring because I don't spend more than 15 minutes on makeup ever, unless it's cosplay. So this is my fake version of contouring by using lighter foundation in the spots that I want to highlight, which is pretty much everywhere except the sides of the nose. I sometimes wonder what I would look like with full professional contouring, but then I remember that it's all a lie and don't want to have it done. Oh yes, good wig. Just get into my shit now, why don't you? Oh, I should probably tell you guys what I'm using. This is my usual go-to current choice for a foundation, constrained by disbelief in advertising and not wanting to spend more than $10–15 on foundation, since I use so much of it on other parts of my body frequently. Currently, the makeup du jour, sexy. The makeup du jour, makeup of the day, is this Neutrogena. Not sure how skin clearing it honestly is, but I don't know. My skin has not necessarily gotten better with using this, but it hasn't gotten worse either, so that's something to be said. Please try not to get distracted by the sexy man walking around in the background, okay? Thank you. This is about me, okay? So now that we have no features, let's try and draw them back on. Actually, no, that's why I don't really do contouring or bronzing or any of that craziness, because I don't really know what I'm doing. And putting brown makeup on like parts of my face just doesn't seem like a good idea. Just doesn't seem right, and also seems dishonest. But hey, I'm putting on makeup right now, so who am I to talk about dishonesty? But I did manage to get this highlighter slash blush situation recently that I would be using for the Lulu slight contouring highlighting type situation. I'm not 100% sure which brushes I should use for what, but I have favorite brushes that I like to use for things. And putting on any kind of light anything, I like these big fluffy brushes. So I'm going to put some of this super white highlight up here. Also, my entire face is looking a bit pale, which is good because Lulu is on the whiter side. I don't think Lulu has any bronzer or shadow of any kind, but just in case, let's give us a little bit of this light, these lighter shades up here. Just gently brushing mainly on the light one. Wait, hold on. There we go. I'm going to stop as soon as I see basically the barest amount of definition, because I can't 100% trust this lighting, and I know that I'm putting it on, so if I don't see it, that's alright. I'm sure others will see it. Or if it's not seen, that's even better for that no makeup look. Now we can move on to the eyes. So I will be using mainly some of this Physician formula. I think it's Blue Eyes, Smoky Eyes, or just Smoky Eye in general. And then we'll also be using a lot of products from this Sephora Makeup Academy palette. First thing I'll be doing is this little side up at the top is our primer. All of this primer all over the eyelids in order to have our eyeshadow stay on, not smudge, and also not sweat or grease cake and crease, which I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, where you've been out for a long time and there's sun and heat and sweat, and you end up coming home with these two lines of eyeshadow in the creases of your eyes and nowhere else. So this primer will help us not have to deal with that as much. So I put it all on the eyelid and then also underneath because I'll be using eyeshadow as eyeliner as well. Make sure everything's gone off the eyelashes. No foundation anymore. Alright. I guess I should do something with my eyebrows too. Crap. I don't really ever do anything with my eyebrows other than make sure they're not caterpillar brows. Bought this handy little item at Desayuno in San Francisco. Anyone's, there we go. It's an eyebrow pencil that has both a little brushy thing, which is super amazing, and of course it has an actual eyebrow pencil, which I sometimes use, but I don't like the way I look with it on, so situations like this would be one of the only ones I would actually use it in. And I just fill in a little bit out here, and a little bit out here. Basically anywhere where it looks like a rodent might have chewed out my eyebrow, that's where I fill in the color. brushing does most of it, really. It's not about, I mean, I have thick, bushy eyebrows. So for me, brushing it does more than coloring it. So see how it's in a kind of a rounded shape right here? Well, I can very easily just go up like that with the brush and give myself a much more arched eyebrow with just a little bit of brushing, or I can bring it back down. So brushing does it all for me. So now we're doing the actual eye makeup. I think I'm going to start with this e.l.f. shimmery. You can't see at all because it's really glittery. It doesn't make any sense. Come on. I'm using this eye pencil. It's by e.l.f. It's like shiny and white. Has a bit of a sparkle to it, which for this character I don't mind at all. So what I do with my white is I bring it up to here a little bit. And poke myself in the eye. It's really hard to put on makeup using a camera that's mirrored. So I'm using the actual mirror instead. Sometimes a little white gets too much. So and then we'll also be using some of this Physicians Formula eyeshadow. We're going to be going for the lightest one first. So the very first one in the palette, super shiny silver. We'll use that with the tip applicator just in the corners of the eye to set up that big wide anime arch of an eye. Okay, so these are the opening gates to the eye. Now I'm going to use a little brush, nice fluffy brush, to spread the product on evenly. And I'll be using these little fluffy but smaller fluff. I'll have already some sparkles on it. Excellent. And okay, I will be using the second lightest silver in this Physicians Formula. So this one right here. We'll be using that throughout the entire eye. And a little bit up into the eyebrow. Like literally the whole eye. Hold on. I need to find a bigger. There we go. I'll be spreading the silver all throughout the eye to once again give it some of that shiny background. And if you look at Lulu photos, she definitely has a very black and white smoky eye. The silver all up in here. So much silver, wow. And then I use the same brush and go to the skin color. Golden one right in here. And start working from the back, adding that all throughout just the lid itself. We're not going beyond the crease at this point. So we're setting up a golden tone to both complement my eyes and set up the base for the black and the gray. Alright, now time to move on to the darks. So we'll be going back here and going into the grays. start with this dark gray at the end here with a smaller fluffy brush. And what I'm going to do is start out at the outer edge and just go in. Just put all that gray dark right where I want it. In the corner, crease, and just at the edge. Define us a little edge with the gray. And primer also helps you remove makeup if you mess up. We're going to do this at the other end. So define that little corner. And up into the crease. Now I'm going to go over with the darker black, which is right next to the gray. And add some more drama. And I'm bringing my crease all the way in as far as it'll go. Get that nice smoky feel. And of course with smoky eye, messier is better. Now we're going to go back to the middle here and choose between these two dark. This one or this one. One is bluer than the other, so I'll go for the less blue one. And just fill it all in with gray, smoky, dark goodness. I personally like to leave about a third of the eyelid, the first third, the inner third. I like to leave it completely untouched, but of course fallout, etc. will darken it up. So what I sometimes like to do, that makeup artists might hate me for, is get some of my light color or whatever the base color was of the eyelid, in this case it's either silver or yellow. I'll get a little mix of both. And go back over the inner corner. After the dark has been set, we re-highlight the front. Now for the eyeliner part, I'll be using the applicator that came with the Physician's Formula. We'll be wetting it. And using their darkest as an eyeliner, bottom lash eyeliner. So I recently got into a kick of lining bottom lashes with with shadow liner, because I really like how it sits and where it sits. However, if you wetten, especially Physician's Formula, it turns into legitimate dark highlighter, legitimate dark eyeliner situation. Very little difference between it and pencil eyeliners. Except you can modulate the thickness of the thing if you do it with shadow. Now I have to see if Lulu has completely lined eyes. No, she doesn't. Okay. Her eyes stop being lined right at this 2/3, right over the eyeball situation. Now the bottom lashes are good and done. Now the top lashes are going to be needing some TLC. Now for the upper lash, I will be using the Eyeliner Eye Studio, which is, I've had it for a really long time. You can tell. I'll be using Maybelline Studios and an angled brush, which is just basically one of these situations. And I get a little bit on here, onto the wall. And then what I like to do is just go inside the wall like this and coat both sides. Also keeping it in a general unbent shape. Then I do this thing where I pull my eye to the side, which apparently you're not supposed to do, but whatever. It helps me. I pull it to the side and then just go in and line the lash and then turn it around and do the front. I think I'm done torturing my highlights right now. So now we have a thick, sexy black line. Go on the top, mine go on the bottom. This lighting is questionable. Maybe add a little bit more blush type contouring with a better brush, because my blush brush is being an asshole. I do a little foundation brush. And I'm accentuating specifically the cheekbones and not the apples of my face, because here are the apples, and when I'm smiling, here are my apples. But when I drop the smile, they end up right here. So if you want to still use the apples of your cheek as a guide, I would recommend doing just the top. I use some of this as highlighter to lighten up the traditional areas where the light falls. So up and down here, a little highlight, a little bit in the middle, turn here, and out of the eyes. There's really no blush to be seen because I used such light pink one, which is probably for the better, since I mean I see a little bit of a pinkish sheen, so it's more of a pink glitter than anything. But it's good because the whole face looks pale, which is the whole point of Lulu. Now I believe we're almost done. Make sure it's evenly darkened. And that one side isn't smaller than the other. Now for the last final touches. We will be needing something I probably don't have with me. So this will be interesting. Alright, I rarely wear mascara, so I kind of forgot that I have to put that on too. But I love this mascara. Like Her Lash Extender by Rimmel. It's amazing. I am a convert. I'm going to be doing a little bit here with the eye. You know how to put on mascara, come on. And of course, the bottom lashes are a little bit more important because you can see them more, at least on my face. That's what happens when you use the camera as a me. Another reason why I don't contour or cover my entire face because I mess up, and then like half of your, like you'd have a hole in your face if you were to just remove makeup like I just did. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of respect for the contouring and the makeup arts, and I bitch at it most of the time, probably just because I can do it. I can't do it, so I don't have the time nor the patience or the temperament to stare at myself for hours and paint on my face. So it's my failing, not theirs. Nothing wrong with face contouring or makeup, just putting that out there. I love all you girls. You look gorgeous. All good. The last two touches. One is her mole. Just on the side, on the shoe puff. Right about here. I don't have a Sharpie with me, so to make this mole out of various makeup implements. Where's a Sharpie when you need one? It's gonna make a gigantic mole. It's the best I can do. I don't have a liquid felt tip eyeliner. If I did, this would be so much easier. There we go. Good enough. I'm going with this. So it's happening. That's what we're doing. And last but not least is the lip stick. I think this lipstick would work better. And oh yeah, the lipstick is I don't know what brand this is. I have no idea. Vogue Vixens maybe? Rouge by maybe Vogue Vixens? Not sure. And it's in the color number, which is also this. However, the actual lipstick looks a bit darker than what is shown on the cover. It's a very nice gothy shade. I love it. I might have brought a lip liner. That would be really sweet if I had. Lip liners is something I do use. Out of all of the random things that I use lip liners. Mainly because I have a very definite mouth shape, and so I'm going to use this, what is this, L'Oreal? Maybe? Yeah. Come on. You can do this. Yeah. L'Oreal in, whatever color that is. Lasting Plum? Maybe? Yeah, Lasting Plum. So we're going to go up here. I can't talk while I do this. So I'm going to line my top lip and then the bottom one. You can see what I'm doing while I'm doing it. I'm not creating any extra lip. I'm not drawing outside the lines. What I'm doing is encasing the lipstick in a little protective shell so that it doesn't smudge, it doesn't run as much. Also, the actual lip is a little more defined, which I don't really need for Lulu since her lips are thinner than mine, but what are you gonna do? Add a little bit of this purple from Sephora. For some reason, it isn't coming through as purple at all. So I'm going to resort to sweet move of using eyeshadow as lipstick. So I'll be using one of Sephora's own colors in this main. I'll be using some of these purple ones up here in the second row. Alright, a little bit of purple. It's safe to go on the eyes. I'm assuming it's safe to go on the lips. I don't know. I live dangerously. Now we're talking. For the grand reveal. Ta-da! Complete result with the thingies in my hair and the costume that keeps wanting to go off my, like up on my boobs. Bad costume. Go down on the boobs. And this is the finished, complete result. I'll try not to murder everything in sight while showing you this.
That's gorgeous.
And I'm ready.
All right, let's do this.